So one of the most highly debated topics in the NFL, year in and year out, is who are the best wide receivers in the league. From the beginning of the NFL till now, I think that's the most debated position other than quarterback on the field. About people love ranking these guys about who's 1, who's 10, who's 32. So we're going to talk about who we think the top 7 wide receivers are in the NFL. I'm going to let you start your list, and I'll go with mine, and then we'll debate it out.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it 7 for like my order, and then I'm gonna throw in a couple honorable mentions to round up like a top 10 almost. So the guys who are just outside the top 7 looking in, and they're close, and it's kind of tough keeping them off. But I got Chris Godwin, Adam Thielen, and DK Metcalf.
As your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. All right, those guys, they're straight ballers, but the guys I have ahead of them, you have to put them in this ranking for me. At 7, I got Tyreek Hill. 6, Stephon Diggs. 5, Mike Evans. 4, Devontae Adams. 3, DeAndre Hopkins. 2, Michael Thomas. And number 1, Julio Jones. Now let me explain a little bit for my list right now. I'm going to break it down.
Wait. Michael Thomas 2? Wait, let me say my list out and then we'll hash it. But Michael Thomas 2, I already don't like that. But for me, since you're going from the back end to the top, my honorable mentions, I got Mike Evans, Terry McLaurin, and OBJ as my honorable mentions. And then 7, I got DK. 6, I got Stephon Diggs. 5, I got DeAndre Hopkins. 4, I got Tyreek Hill. 3, I got Devontae Adams. 2, I got Julio Jones. And number 1, I got Michael Thomas. All right, now explain yourself.
All right, so I'll start from top to bottom now for why I feel like this is the order it is. For me, wide receiver is a position, who's the scariest guy to go up against? Who's the guy that's going to be like, man, I don't know how we're going to game plan for him. He can do everything. And the only guy in the league for me that can just do everything at the high level that nobody can stop is Julio Jones. I still remember in the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Remember that catch?
Those catches he was making, that sideline catch is one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. And it would have had so much more respect. Like, it's already one of the greatest catches ever. But if they ever won that Super Bowl, man, like that catch would go down. Like people would be like, remember that Julio catch, that one that maybe helped them win that Super Bowl. Like,
I mean, like it's hard. Like, why would anyone remember that catch when they blew a 28-3 lead? So yeah, that's the main problem there.
But man, like he's bigger than you, he's faster than you, he's stronger than you. He could play safety. Like Julio Jones is just a freak of nature. He has to be number 1 for me. And my problem with the reason I have him above Michael Thomas specifically, Michael Thomas, there's probably nobody in the NFL who gets to the spot they need to better than Michael Thomas. And I'm not saying he's just that 10-yard first down kind of guy. But he will be that guy for you. He moves that chain. That's not all he does. But he can go down the field, but it's not the same way that Julio does. Julio's ability to stretch the field is a solid amount higher to me than Michael Thomas is, and that's why I have him above. And I'm going to let you argue why.
To me, Michael Thomas is the best wide receiver in the NFL for one reason only. He went to Ohio State. Nah, I'm being dumb. But honestly,
you're not being dumb. That's low-key why.
No, but to be serious, I think Michael Thomas is the best wide receiver in the league because no one in the NFL moved the chains like Michael Thomas does. He's literally like a walking first down. He broke the NFL receptions per season last year. He broke that. He finished the NFL with the 8th most receiving yards in a season ever, and he still had 9 touchdowns to go with that. So to me, what you have with Michael Thomas is a guy who is always open. He is getting double teamed. That's what people don't get. He's getting double teamed, and he still finds a way to get the ball and help his team move the chains. No one in the league is. It's funny because everyone on Twitter and everyone on social media tries to call him Slam Boy, making a mock of him, saying, "Oh, he does run slants." But when you look at Michael Thomas, if you remove all yards from every receiver that does slant yards, he still led the league in receptions last year and in receiving yards last year. So even with those slants, Michael Thomas is beating guys with the whole route tree. He's running posts, he's running deep ends, he's the best at in-breaking routes, out-breaking routes. It's funny because since he's such a physically dominating receiver, catching 50-50 balls, contested catches, people don't understand how gifted of a route runner he really is. It's actually an art to run those 8 to 12 yard routes in the intermediate game, because it's hard to get open, especially with all these teams running cover 3 these days. You gotta pick the zones, and it is a blessing that he's able to play with Drew Brees, so which it does help him because he's low-key the most accurate quarterback we've ever seen. So it's really complementing with them. You have a guy who's gonna get open, you have a guy who's gonna get you the ball right on target, and that's what they're doing. And to go back to my list, I do have Julio number 2 though. So let's not act like I don't have respect for Julio. But I just feel like right now Michael Thomas is the most dangerous receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, but so we got that agreement that it's a 1A, 1B situation for those two. You know,
but then there's also the guys who love DeAndre Hopkins. I know what people are gonna be mad about with me is that how low I have D-Hop. I have him 5, and I know that's gonna get a lot of people mad, but I'll explain myself on that soon.
So I have D-Hop 3, and I feel like I just have to put him there. Me personally, like, give me Devontae Adams. I don't know. There's something about
Devontae Adams too.
Devontae Adams is special to me, but what Hopkins does with the ball in his hand is lethal. Like, his run after the catch is scary. He's not even the fastest guy, but not even the shiftiest guy, but he knows how to get the ball down the field, and he knows what to do with it when it's in his hands, and he'll just break through somehow.
And he knows how to stay in bounds.
Yeah.
I won't even lie. Like, okay, with all the top guys, whenever they're all a lot close to the sideline, I just assume they're in bounds. But with Hopkins, I don't even question it. Like, don't show the replay like he was in bounds. Like, his toe drag, only Antonio Brown rivals him in terms of the toe drag. That's why they call him Tony Toe Tap. But yeah, like against Seattle, that catch to get the touchdown, there was no doubt in my mind he was in bounds. I was like, come on, this is DeAndre Hopkins. So I'll give him that. And not to say that's the only thing he does well. He's a complete receiver. But he's more of a possession receiver like Michael Thomas. They're both possession guys, but I just feel like Michael Thomas is better at what he does than DeAndre Hopkins is.
Yeah, he's a possession guy, but after the catch, I think he's a lot more lethal than Michael Thomas. But and this year, like,
he's leading in the receiving yards.
I think his stats are a little fake inflated this year because Cardinals, there's been some weird games where they haven't really used him the whole game. Then all of a sudden, like, he'll get a huge play. Then
they get him his stats. And it's like against the Jets, he was having a quiet game. He like up at the first 3 quarters, I think he had like 30 yards.
And at the end, touchdown.
He had like a 74-yard TD. So and the game was won.
Game was done. Even Cowboys, he had like a quiet game. And then all of a sudden, they threw a little slant to him, and he just took it like almost like, yeah. So his stats are a little inflated yards-wise, and they're really force-feeding him the ball. Like, they're saying, like, go make plays. And he gets the ball, like, at least, I feel like, 5 times a game minimum. And I think he's leading the league in receptions right now, too. So he's doing his dirt. But then I got to talk about Devontae Adams, man. This guy has the best release in NFL right now. In my opinion, the best route runner in the league, too. You can't guard him one-on-one. You can't press him. If you're asking for problems if you're going to press him.
You see how you said you can't cover one-on-one? Can someone tell the Houston Texans that? No, seriously. Like, I don't know if I was missing some, but does Prime Darrelle Revis play for the Houston Texans? Because I don't know who was they single covered him the whole game, right?
It did not make
sense. And
they wanted to lose.
It's like, and they decided, no, we're not going to switch it up. I don't know, like, I don't even know the name of the corner who was covering. Maybe it was Bradley Roby. I don't know who it was. But I don't, like, how can you just, like, were you trying to lose? They just decided, no, we can handle them single coverage. And he killed them. How many yards did he have? Like
190 something.
2 touchdowns. Like he was just out there having fun. I just couldn't believe it. But to continue on what you were saying.
And then what I like about Adams, this is one of the knocks I have on Julio. It seems like he doesn't get touchdowns always, unless it's like a 40-yard catch and like he just beats you down deep. Adams, no matter where he is on the field, because of his route running ability and being able to go deep and short, he can do it all. He gets the touchdowns. He's like, if he doesn't miss games, he would probably be leading the touchdown in the league in touchdowns almost every single year.
From all these guys on the list that we're talking about, like near the top, he's probably the best in the red zone. He's definitely
for sure. And I think he runs the best corner route, or the post corner, or whatever it is, like in the league, because his double moves are insane.
It's funny because based off all the guys we talked about, like based on how we're talking, we think Devontae Adams is the best receiver in the league. Honestly, because he does so many things such at a high level. I think the one knock on him, and it's not even a knock, he's still good at it, but he's just not as good after the catch as a guy like Julio or D-Hop.
And like his health has been a little bit shaky. Like he always misses, like I feel like 3 games a year.
And I may have missed your list, but do you not have Stephon Diggs on it?
Nah, he's there. He's 6.
Oh, okay. I have to make sure. I thought he wasn't there. And who else do you have?
So then I got Mike Evans at 5. And
yeah, that's a little high for me.
This one was he was the hardest guy to rank for me because he's so talented. Like Mike Evans he's a freak of nature. He's big, fast, strong hands. He'll go up and he gets in the red zone. He'll go up and get it. Like he's second in the league, or tie. Well, there's 2 guys with 7 touchdowns. He's 6th. He has 6 touchdowns in the season so far. This is the first year he's not getting yards, but before that he always got yards.
His career in NFL, him and Jay Rice, the only people in NFL to start the career off with 6 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. So that's also a testament to his durability.
He's been consistent. And I don't know a guy who's that big and you can just keep throwing it deep to it, and I feel like he'll almost get every single ball in the NFL. So like I feel like his big playability and how consistent he's been, I had him over Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill.
See, for me, that's where I have to let you hear it. In no world, not in any world is Mike Evans a better receiver currently than Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is the most slept on maybe player in the NFL. What have you seen what Diggs has done for Buffalo's offense? Buffalo last year, they couldn't move the ball in the passing game. Diggs comes in and it opens up everything. Yes, you could say it's because of the leaps Josh Allen maybe has made as a passer. But it's so much easier to make leaps as a passer when you have a guy who is open every single play. I promise you guys, go watch Buffalo games. You watch some Buffalo games. Watch 14 on the Bills. Every single play he is open. He's the second best runner in the league after Devontae Adams. I don't know if you've seen Ochocinco on Instagram, but Chad Ochocinco was literally watching a video of Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs running routes, and he started crying. He said this was art. It was just so pure. And after the catch, Diggs is better than most of the guys on this list. Who's better than maybe Tyreek Hill or Terry McLaurin or OBJ? Those are the only guys who couldn't even rival him after the catch. And with all that put together, I even have Diggs way too low because personally, I think Diggs is better than DeAndre Hopkins, but it was more of a respect factor that I had to put DeAndre Hopkins ahead of him.
See, I want Diggs to continue this on the whole season because I saw something I didn't like that much in the Jets game, and like overall these last couple of games from Buffalo. Josh Allen loves Diggs and he loves targeting him, and you're kind of force feeding him at times, and it just wasn't working against the Jets.
But then there's also times in the fourth quarter he was open in the end zone for a touchdown. And you don't see your number one receiver. That's what I don't get about some quarterbacks. If a guy's your number one option, you should never miss him because that's the first place you gotta look. Am I lying? Like I get it, you run routes that the primary option is a guy that isn't Diggs, but he always has to get a look. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I like Diggs. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like Mike Evans has just been doing this longer, and this is his first kind of down year with like yards wise. And that's just because the way the weapons are and the way that they're playing their offense. I feel like I don't want to knock him just for that, where they're changing their style this year. I want to keep him up there. And Diggs, he's probably going to pass him next year maybe, the way things are going. But it was tough.
And for me, I got Tyreek Hill number 4. And I'm going to keep this one short because, I don't know, maybe a lot of people won't have him here because they think, he plays with Mahomes, he's the best quarterback. But for me, Tyreek Hill number 4 is easy because from all these guys on the list, he's the one receiver that you're the most scared of. He can score a touchdown anywhere on the field, any single time. And you pair him up with Mahomes' arm, which makes it more dangerous. So at any single second, Tyreek Hill can go off and score a 100-yard touchdown. And there's no one in the league who could really cover him one-on-one. And I know with all these guys on the list, there's really no one who can cover them one-on-one. But with him, it's a little different. Because with his speed, you have cornerbacks literally scared to take him one-on-one because they might get burned deep and cost their team the game. So that's why I have him number 4. And I got DK. I'm a big DK fan. I got him number 7. And man, I wish I could put him a little higher, but the guys in front of him, it's just too tough right now. It's too early. But DK, let's not act like DK's not having an incredible season. They had a bye week, so it brought down his standing in the league.
Did he have 2 bye weeks? Because you got strapped last game too.
You got jokes. But I think in terms of yards per game, though, he's top 5. He's having 86 yards a game, 5 touchdowns. I think DK is soon. I think the league is DK's, like in terms of receivers. In like 2 years, he's gonna be the best receiver in the league. So
he can be. The only reason I did have Tyreek Hill so low for my list is the fact that he plays with Patrick Mahomes, and I feel like I don't know if he's gonna be doing this dominance. Like he was pretty good at Alex Smith too. Don't get me wrong.
Alex Smith.
But he wasn't what he is now without.
Alex Smith just couldn't get him the ball when he was 60 yards down the field.
But like Patrick Mahomes is that special that like he could be 70 yards down the field and he'll still get it to him, right?
So that's the difference. So and that's like with Michael Thomas. You pair him with a quarterback who suits him, and that's like with Julio. Julio's paired with Matt Ryan. All these guys on the list have good quarterbacks. So I'm not Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. So we can't bring a guy down because of his quarterback.
But I think Tyreek Hill has the best quarterback out of all the guys on this list.
I mean, that's debatable. Some people might tell you DK has the best quarterback.
But DK's not even high on the list.
If you're in the top 7, you're high on the list.
He's 7. But, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah. And for me, this is a guy you could say it's my Ohio State bias, but Terry McLaurin is a top 10 receiver in this league. I just have to put that out there. He's not top 7, but he's top 10. Terry McLaurin is better than guys like OBJ. He's better than guys like Allen Robinson, who's really good. These guys are really good, but Terry McLaurin is better than them. If you're watching the film doesn't lie. I promise you. Whoever's watching, watch the film. Terry McLaurin is a top 10 wide receiver in this league.
All right, but the last thing I want to mention, though, before we finish this topic, Odell Beckham is the hardest guy to rank because
he is so tough to rank, man.
When I watch Browns games, this guy is open every single play in every single game. He's probably might be the top 3 route runner in the NFL still. And after the catch, he's disgusting. But man, Baker Mayfield does not find him so many times, and it sucks. He tore his ACL, and because of that, I decided, okay, he made it easier for me. He's out for the season. I was like, all right, I don't have to add him to the list no more.
Honorable mention. But yeah, I mean, that's it for talking about receivers. Prayers up to OBJ. I hope he comes back next year and killing it. And yeah, that's it for our receivers.